Have you ever had a coach that made you feel like the game was more about them than about you? That's not just tough love. That's not just old school discipline, to be honest. That's what I call the NC, or the narcissistic coach. From now on, we're gonna call it the NC, narcissistic coach. It'll be easier to identify, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. A narcissistic coach makes everything revolve around them. Everything is about them. They brag about their career, their genius, how lucky you are to have them. Instead of chasing for growth, they chase glory and fame. They can even play favorite with the stars and ignore everyone else that they see as average. It almost seems like they're constantly craving praise, and if they don't get much of it, they eventually lash out. They believe that the rules don't apply to them, that they're above the rules. They'll use you, even push you past the point of pain or injury, as long as they make themselves look good. Your stress, your confidence, your feelings, they don't care about it, because to them, emotions are weakness. When anyone else succeeds, it's like a threat to them. They'll call it cheating, luck, or that you're even taking pointers from them or copying them. And at the core, this is just ego. It's all about the ego. This is arrogance. Nothing more, nothing less, which usually makes them talk down to everyone else as if everyone else was beneath them. If it sounds familiar to you, then you know what we're talking about. Because once you can see it, once you can spot it, you can't unsee it. And once you can spot it, then you can handle it. Now here's the tricky part. A narcissistic coach a lot of times can get confused for an assertive coach, and sometimes even walk, talk, and act like a confident coach. That's why people confuse them. Why? Because they all get wins. They all bring results. They all bring home championships. But look closer and you'll see that the methods are completely different. The narcissistic coach feeds your fears at the expense of your wins. The assertive coach, on the other hand, usually wins by confidence, strength, and discipline. The confident coach builds you up through your safety, your trust, and your growth. Let's break it down to see how each of these handle the 5 fears: fear of failure, fear of success, fear of humiliation, fear of pain, and fear of injury. With fear of failure, the narcissistic coach shames you for every mistake, which makes you choke. The assertive coach, on the other hand, calls you out, helps you fix it, and you get tougher. The confident coach normalizes the situation, normalizes the mistakes, and then teaches you algorithmically how to adjust, how to grow. Fear of success, the narcissistic coach puts impossible pressure on you. Now you can't mess up ever again, and subconsciously you might even start dreading winning because of all that pressure. An assertive coach, on the other hand, demands consistency, aka discipline. You feel pressure, but it's real, it's measurable. Confident coach, on the other hand, celebrates growth, sets vision for what's next, and then it makes it easier for you to embrace winning. Fear of humiliation, narcissistic coach publicly mocks you, apprehends you socially. That makes you tread as if you're walking on shells or something, just to avoid the shame in public. An assertive coach corrects firmly, gives constructive feedback that's respectable. Often they do it privately, and then you keep learning without fear. The confident coach encourages while correcting. This makes it easier to take risk and keep and continue growth. Fear of pain, the narcissistic coach a lot of times doesn't take the injury seriously. This makes it detrimental for you as the athlete, because then you associate subconsciously pain and injury, then associating those two with punishment. Does it make sense? An assertive coach is watching out for you, pushing you only to safe limits. You learn that pain builds strength in mind and body. The confident coach then teaches you smart pain versus dangerous pain. You build wisdom with this approach. Fear of injury, the NC, the narcissistic coach, lays you through the injury because he's not taking it seriously, and you continue to break down and live in fear of that pain, of that injury. The assertive coach watches out for you, sits you down until you're ready, helping you trust the process in a much more manageable way. The confident coach frames recovery as growth, so you come back stronger from it. That's the real difference between the three. All three win, but two of them build you into a champion from the inside out, bouncing into other areas of your life as well, which then bounce you back to get even better in the sport. And here's the real danger of the narcissistic coach. When those fears are triggered, you can still hit flow. You can still hit peak performance from time to time, but it's random. It comes and it goes. Under fear, flow isn't a skill. It's a coincidence. That means one day you're unstoppable and the next day you choke. Fear makes performance unpredictable. But you don't want your flow to come and go, to and there, to and from, back and forth, and side to side. You want it to be consistent. You want it to be reliable. You want it as a powerful tool that you can immediately summon it at command. When a coach feeds the fear, flow becomes a guest that shows up uninvited. But when a coach builds that confidence and that safety, peak performance flow then becomes a weapon at your command. So what do you do if you're going on circles with a narcissistic coach? First, please understand this. Narcissists are charismatic. They are highly convincing. Debate is not going to work. You won't change them, so stop. What really works is doubling down on your boundaries. That's where you use short, sharp, 4 to 5 word sentences of command towards yourself. Not them, not to convince them, but to command yourself. And as you're giving these commands, you're standing tall, your posture straight, and you breathe slowly to maintain that parasympathetic nervous system activation, feeling calm, collected in the present. Eyes up, stay sharp, calm power, hold your ground, stand firm. Focus on the now and ignore the noise. Take message and leave the mess behind. These commands cut through chaos. They anchor you. They tell your mind what to do when the NC is raging. Assertiveness here doesn't mean yelling back. You maintain frame. And in that assertiveness, a maintaining frame, you're staying present, ready, and you remain unshakable. Shoulders back, eye contact, respectful, but not breakable. Let's run some scenarios. The bad responses versus the good responses when you're confronting a NC. How can you mess that up? Are you blind? A bad response? It's not my fault. The ref distracted me. Here's the good response. I'll sharpen focus, coach. I'll sharpen focus, coach. 4 words. Simple, direct. When someone's raging, you want to keep it short. You don't excuse, you own the fix in this situation. Another scenario, you're pushed through pain. The NC. Stop crying. Pain makes you stronger. The bad response, you don't understand, I'm hurt. The good response, you set the line, you set the response, you set the stage. You remain respectful and firm at the same time. The NC, you're embarrassing this whole team. The bad response, why are you always insulting me? Or why are you always on me? The good response, in this case, is no response. Stand tall and hold your ground. And as you hold that ground in silence, that silence becomes power. Unrealistic demand, let's say that the NC says, you better not miss once today. Bad response, come on, that's impossible. That's too much pressure. The good response, I will give my 100% on each play. See what you did there? You reframe that perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. You reframe the perfection into effort. Another scenario for comparison. Why can't you be like your teammate? The bad response. Stop comparing me. It's not fair. The good response. I'll focus on my growth, coach. What you did there was you shut it down with respect. That's how you stay in frame. You speak up when you must. You stay silent when it's just BS. Respectful, clear, and untouchable. Now when it comes to the victim mindset and an NC, NCs attract the victim mindset and vice versa. If you already doubt yourself, if you already fear abandonment, if you're already carrying low self-esteem, low confidence, the NC then looks magnetic to you. They pull you in, then keep you very small. An extreme NC can even provoke borderline traits in someone who's not borderline personality. Just like extreme BPD can provoke narcissistic traits in someone who's not really a narcissist. Because entitlement and victimization, they're 2 sides of the same coin. Both manipulate, both demand, both destroy confidence if you let them. But hear me out, you're not a victim. You're not here to carry anyone else's entitlement. You're here to build strength, stability, and self-command. No coach defines you. You define you. So here's the takeaway. You can't control the NC. Stop. You can't fix them, but you can control you. And that starts with knowing your worth, never shrinking in it, never making yourself small. There's no such thing as someone manipulating you unless you let them. Never hand your worth over to someone else's entitlement. Never. The fastest way to build confidence isn't begging for approval. It's teaching yourself to keep your own promises, doing better day after day. That's where the SCBG spears comes in. Your sacrificial and compensational behavioral goal. Every time you sacrifice a destructive habit and replace it with a constructive one, you're proving to yourself, I can depend on me. And when you depend on you, you're no longer codependent on a coach that can even depend on themselves. You're self-led. You take constructive criticism, but you're self-led. And when you're self-led, the NC can't touch you. The NC can't break you. You tell yourself, I know my worth. I teach myself confidence by keeping my own promises and staying disciplined to my own organized goals. I don't depend on unstoppable people. I depend on me. And that's how you handle the narcissistic coach. For more sports psychology, coaching, and therapy tips and tricks, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.